Many people have pets, but there's a big difference between sharing your life with a cat. Because a cat doesn't just take up space in your home, it takes up space in your nervous system. Your brain was biologically restructured to coexist with a miniature predator. If you're one of those people who rearranges their sleep, their space, and even the way they walk, all for the love of their cat, this video is for you. Today we're exploring 10 habits that prove your mind has already been changed. Stay until number 1. We're about to reveal a visual illusion that rewrote the rules of your own nature. Number 10. The suppression of spatial shame. From the time we're kids, human beings build up a fundamental psychological barrier around privacy, especially during our most physically vulnerable moments. But once a cat enters your life, that door that used to close without a second thought starts staying cracked open. This habit isn't born out of carelessness. It comes from the very real understanding that a closed door is basically a declaration of war on household peace. You know that the moment you try to shut yourself away, a tiny paw will appear underneath the door, scratching frantically, paired with what you can only call a cry of complete devastation. What looks like an annoying quirk is actually a survival dance. In the wild, the moment an animal is dealing with its physiological needs is its most vulnerable moment, prime time for an attack. Your cat isn't following you out of nosiness. Its instincts are telling it to stand guard while you're defenseless. By allowing it, your brain overrides a social construct as powerful as shame in order to reinforce a bond built on keeping each other safe. Your nervous system is simply accepting the protection of your survival bond. That constant surveillance doesn't stop at the bathroom, though. It also changes the way you move through your own home once the sun goes down. Number 9. The alteration of nocturnal proprioception. If you get up in the middle of the night to grab some water, you'll notice something strange about the way you move. Instead of taking normal steps and lifting your feet, you slide them across the floor, almost like you're skating on ice. Your nervous system has completely redrawn its internal map of space. Over time, your brain learned the hard way that a small, fast, and absolutely silent creature can materialize under your feet at any fraction of a second in the dark. You've been through enough near misses to know what your feet are now protecting. To prevent a tragedy, your mind activates this cautious shuffling pattern automatically. What's remarkable is that your body has literally modified its own mechanics just to guarantee the safety of your companion. Number 8. The anatomical alteration of the larynx. You could be the most buttoned-up, no-nonsense professional in the room, but the second you make eye contact with your cat when you walk through the door, something happens to your voice that you would never admit to in public. It softens, rises, and becomes something that could only be described as completely undignified. And you don't care. Neurologists and linguists who study this phenomenon call it pet-directed speech. By tightening your vocal cords, you're mimicking the sounds that young animals make to signal safety in the wild, which naturally soothes your cat. But here's the really interesting part. That sound travels through your own inner ear and triggers a dopamine release in your system. Talking in a way that sounds completely ridiculous is actually a chemical tool for your own happiness. That ridiculous pitch you use, it's your fastest mood reset. Use it freely, especially when you think you look silly. And just like your voice shifts, your gaze learns a whole new dialect for communicating peace. Number 7. The interspecies blink. You've probably caught yourself lying on the couch, looking at your cat, and just slowly closing your eyes and opening them again. You may have even started doing this with people you're close to during really relaxed moments. Here's the thing. While humans smile to show they're not a threat, in the world of predators, baring your teeth is an act of aggression. You've picked up, through pure instinct, the body language of an entirely different species. That slow blink is a peace signal that literally quiets the fear center in a cat's brain. And when you do it, you're also activating your vagus nerve, which slows your heart rate and drops you into a state of deep calm. Next time you feel overwhelmed, try it. By mirroring the same calming gesture you give your cat, you're sending your own brain the signal that right here, right now, you are completely safe. Number 6. Auditory pareidolia. You're at work, miles away from home, Or maybe you're in the middle of a shower, and suddenly, you could swear you just heard your cat's exact meow. You freeze, heart jumping, only to confirm a second later that your mind made the whole thing up. This isn't you losing it. It's a well-documented neurological phenomenon called hypervigilance through attachment. Your auditory cortex is in a state of constant readiness to protect that creature. It's the same instinct that makes new parents bolt upright in the middle of the night convinced they heard a cry, even when the baby is sleeping peacefully. When your ears pick up white noise or random ambient sounds, your brain processes them and fills in the gaps with the one voice it's primed to detect. It's your alarm system searching for danger where there is none. If any of this sounds familiar, it's not coincidence. It means your nervous system has been doing its job. The next 5 habits go even deeper. Let's continue. Number 5, the short circuit of tender aggression. Sometimes you're watching your cat sleep in some impossibly adorable position, and you feel this strange, almost violent urge. You clench your fists, maybe grind your teeth, and say things like, "I'm going to squeeze you to death," or "You're so cute, I could just eat you." In psychology, this is called emotional dimorphism. When your brain processes something that vulnerable and that adorable, it gets hit with so much oxytocin it nearly short circuits. To prevent a full emotional system crash, your nervous system injects a small burst of mock aggression to bring things back into balance. It's a defense mechanism. Your mind uses aggression to cool the system and bring you back to normal. When you feel that spike of intensity, take a long exhale and stroke your cat slowly. Knowing your brain is just protecting itself from a love overdose makes it easier to enjoy the moment without feeling strange about your own thoughts. Number 4, effective pain tolerance. Your cat jumps into your lap and starts kneading your leg. Their claws push right through the fabric and into your skin. You feel it. You know it's going to leave a mark. And you don't move. You just sit there smiling, letting it continue. Under any other circumstances, your body would have you jumping back from the source of pain instantly. But your brain performs what's called cognitive reappraisal. It knows that kneading is a sign of complete and total trust. It's a behavior that comes from kittenhood, from pressing against a mother's belly for warmth and milk. By translating pain as an expression of love, your body releases endorphins that act as a biological painkiller, letting you absorb the damage with a grateful smile on your face. Keep a thick blanket nearby so you can receive all the affection of their kneading without sacrificing your skin. Number 3, voluntary nocturnal paralysis. It's 4 in the morning. Your neck is at an angle that's going to hurt tomorrow. Your left leg stopped existing about an hour ago, and you haven't moved a muscle. You won't, because she's sleeping. The natural human instinct is to seek comfort and avoid injury. But in people who love cats, empathy triggers a voluntary motor inhibition. Your brain makes a subconscious decision that not interrupting the rest of a small animal is biologically more important than your own orthopedic health or physiological comfort. If this is genuinely affecting your sleep, try placing an elevated spot right next to your pillow. Many cats are after closeness, not necessarily weight. Give them their own little throne beside you, and you can both actually rest. Number 2, the auditory hijacking of urgency. You're deep in focus on something, and your cat lets out a specific purr or a short little meow, and you feel an immediate physical pang of urgency that makes it nearly impossible to keep going. This is not a coincidence. Wooded domestic cats have developed an acoustic frequency that falls almost exactly within the same range as a human infant crying in distress. Your brain has been hacked through sound. That purr bypasses your logical defenses entirely and fires up your most primal caregiving instinct, the same one that makes parents bolt upright at the slightest sound. Ignoring it feels physically impossible because to your nervous system, it registers as a distress signal that demands an immediate response. Learn to tell the difference between a pleasure purr and a solicitation purr. Setting fixed feeding times can significantly reduce these auditory hijacks during your working hours. Number 1, the baby schema hijacking, the inverted hierarchy. Take a look around. Your cat has a triple filtered water fountain, premium food, a cat tree, an orthopedic bed, Meanwhile, you might be eating something you threw together quickly for the third time this week to save money. And that mattress you've been meaning to replace for 2 years is still sitting on your to-do list. Financially, logically, your well-being should be the priority. But evolutionary science explains this inversion through something called the baby schema. Cats have enormous eyes, rounded faces, and wide foreheads that closely mimic the anatomy of a human newborn. That visual blueprint hijacks your brain's reward center. Your biology doesn't see a pet, it sees its own offspring, and it commands you to prioritize their comfort above your own basic needs. That's the visual illusion your cat has been running on you since the day they moved in, and almost no one realizes it's happening. If you found yourself nodding along the entire time, or smiling because you saw yourself in every single one of these, take a breath. You are not weird. You haven't lost your mind. What you're experiencing is one of the most beautiful things evolution has ever produced. The ability to reshape your own body, your movement, and your mind to give another creature a good life is the ultimate proof of a higher form of empathy. Loving a cat changes the structure of your brain permanently. And if you live this every single day, what you feel is deeply, completely valid. Which of these biological anomalies resonated with you the most? Do you have another quirk with your cat that I didn't mention here? I'd love to read your experience in the comments. Help this knowledge reach more people by sharing this analysis with that friend or family member who treats their cat like royalty. They'll love knowing science backs up their behavior. Remember, this space is purely educational and informational, designed to encourage deep self-knowledge based on behavioral studies and neuroscience. Keep your mind open, keep listening to your instincts, and I'll see you in the next deep psychology analysis.